You know that feeling when you first roll out of bed in the morning, and the moment your feet hit the floor, your knees just scream at you? Or maybe you're at the point where walking down a simple flight of stairs feels like navigating an absolute minefield. When people hit their 50s and their joints start feeling weak, stiff, or unstable, they panic. The instinct is to join a gym, hop on expensive leg press machines, or start doing heavy squats to rebuild their strength as fast as possible. But if your knees are already hurting, jumping right into intense workouts is a massive mistake. This cross-section of a deteriorating knee joint shows exactly what happens. Treating an aging, inflamed knee like a healthy 20-year-old joint places a heavy downward load on the bone. This quietly increases the friction and irritation deep inside the cartilage without you even realizing it. You end up in more pain, so you naturally stop moving. When you stop moving, you lose more muscle, which means your joints hurt even worse when you finally try to walk again. It becomes a vicious, frustrating cycle. You do not need a massive, complicated workout routine to fix this. You just need a 12-minute home routine designed to safely rebuild the leg muscles into shock absorbers for your body. All you need is a sturdy chair and a clear wall. And this is crucial. If any movement we cover causes sharp, stabbing pain or makes your knee feel totally unstable, stop immediately. The path to mobility after 50 requires breaking the downward spiral. You do that with a few highly specific, controlled movements. For most people, recovery begins with the most critical knee protector of them all, your quadriceps. This massive muscle on the front of your thigh stabilizes your leg every single time you take a step. To strengthen it safely, sit upright in a comfortable chair. Keep your posture tall. Lift one foot off the floor and slowly straighten your leg out in front of you. Once your leg is totally straight, pull your toes back toward your face. This vector graphic of a seated leg shows a brilliant trick to maximize that engagement. Look at the directional arrow pulling the toes backward. To really connect your brain to the muscle, imagine a downward arrow at the back of your knee. Try to push it downward toward the floor while keeping the leg perfectly straight. Hold that tight squeeze, then lower your foot with slow control. Aim for 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions on each leg. People often skip these because they don't leave you sweating and breathless. But this controlled, slow activation is the exact biological signal your nervous system needs to know it is finally safe to rely on that muscle again. Once the front of the leg is working properly, we have to look at the back. This brings us to a muscle group almost everyone completely forgets about when dealing with joint pain, the hamstrings. This biomechanical side view of a leg shows what happens when those muscles fail. If your hamstrings are weak, your body compensates by massively overloading the front of your knee. This silent weight transfer drives up inflammation day after day. To fix this safely, lie down flat on your back on the floor and place your feet up on a sturdy chair or the edge of your couch. Gently press your lower back down flat into the floor. Now, push your heels firmly downward into the chair and slowly lift your hips up. As your hips rise, you will feel the backs of your thighs instantly tighten up. The easiest way to ruin this movement is to rush it. Squeeze those muscles hard, pause for a brief second, and lower your hips very slowly back to the ground. You are looking for 3 sets of 8 to 12 repetitions here, focusing entirely on smooth, steady control. Your knee absolutely does not work in isolation. It requires balanced muscular support from both above and below the joint to prevent destructive mechanical compensation. We have covered the top of the leg, but we have to move down to the calf muscle. It is wildly common to assume the calf only matters for your ankle health. The reality is, your calf dictates exactly how your knee absorbs physical force every single time your foot hits the pavement. If your calves are weak or incredibly tight, your knee pays a terribly heavy price. To build up this support, stand about 3 feet away from a clear wall. Place both hands flat against the wall and lean your body slightly forward, keeping your feet flat. This geometric overlay shows why we use that forward stance. The specific diagonal angle increases the mechanical stretch placed on the calf muscle, forcing total activation. From this position, slowly push up onto your toes, then lower back down. Building descending strength is vital. Aim for 3 sets of 12. Control matters here, because ignoring this lower support system leads to the terrifying loss of mechanical control where your knee just unexpectedly gives out. Now that we have finally woken up the quads, hamstrings, and calves, it is time to bring the whole system together. You have to teach these muscles how to work as a team during a real, everyday movement. Sit near the front edge of a sturdy chair. Lean your upper body slightly forward, push evenly through your feet, and stand up smoothly. Then reverse it and sit back down. Do 10 repetitions of this just to act as a warm-up. Once you feel comfortable, we are going to add a progression. This top-down graphic shows the staggered foot positioning. Plant one foot slightly behind you and the other slightly forward. Now do the exact same stand-up movement. Because of the staggered stance, the back leg absorbs much more body weight. Reverse it and sit back down with total control, guiding your weight smoothly. Do 10 repetitions with your right leg back, then switch and do 10 repetitions with your left leg back. Staggering the stance forces your nervous system to relearn coordinated, balanced force distribution in a safe, controlled environment. By combining these specific movements, you have successfully rebuilt the shock absorbers of your leg and taught the entire kinetic chain to work as a unified team. This checklist outlines your final protocol. Do the seated extensions, hamstring bridges, and wall calf raises for 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Finish with the staggered sit to stance. You only need to do this 12-minute routine 3 days a week for maximum results. People with chronic pain lose their physical strength, but they also lose their confidence, eventually becoming terrified of moving at all. Complete rest is almost never the answer. Appropriate, consistent movement is. Dedicating just 12 minutes to science-backed mechanics will help you safely reclaim your mobility. If this changed how you think about your knee health, hit subscribe, because I break down real, BS-free health research like this every week.